The Galactic Council chamber floated in silence above a blue star. It was the largest meeting place ever built. Rings of light curved through open space. Seats for hundreds of species surrounded a hollow center. This council ruled the galaxy, or at least that was what they believed. On this day, a new topic filled the chamber. Humanity. Humans were young, loud, emotional. They spread fast, but lacked refinement. Most council members saw them as a minor power, useful as traders, useful as workers, never as equals. A tall avian delegate spoke first. Its feathers shimmered with pride. It said humans were dangerous only to themselves. Another reptilian lord laughed. He said, humans still feared the dark. The chamber echoed with low sounds of amusement. In one corner, a small human delegation sat quietly. They did not argue. They did not interrupt. They simply watched. Admiral Jonah Reyes stood behind them. His uniform was plain. No medals, no symbols of power. He looked calm, but his eyes never left the stars. The council speaker raised a glowing limb. Order returned. The speaker announced the main concern: human military expansion, rumors of forbidden research, claims of weapons beyond known physics. The speaker asked humans to explain. The human ambassador stood. Her voice was steady. She said humanity had always defended itself. Nothing more. The council was not satisfied. An ancient species demanded proof. Another accused humans of hiding something. Voices grew louder. Tension filled the air. Then it happened. Every light in the chamber flickered. Screens went dark. Sensors across the station screamed. For 3 seconds, the galaxy vanished. No stars, no data, no sound. Then everything returned, but space was no longer empty. Directly outside the council station, something enormous waited. It was not shaped like known ships, no smooth curves, no glowing engines. It looked like a mountain made of metal, black-gray, and silent long red lines ran along its surface. Pulsing slowly like a living heart, the ship did not move, yet it felt close to close. Alarms exploded throughout the chamber. Guards reached for weapons. Scientists shouted impossible readings. The ship had not arrived. It had appeared. No warp trail, no jump gate. No energy burst, it simply existed. The council froze. Someone whispered, "What is that?" The human ambassador did not answer. Another voice shouted, "Scan it." Scanners failed. Signals vanished as they touched the hull. Light bent away from it. Then more shapes appeared. 1/1000 ships formed a silent wall across the stars. Each one massive, each one dark. They surrounded the council station, not aggressively, not defensively, patiently. The chamber filled with panic. Old empires activated ancient shields, defense fleets scrambled from distant systems, but the human ships did nothing. They waited. The council speaker demanded an explanation. Its voice trembled. At last, Admiral Reyes stepped forward. He spoke calmly, softly. He said, "Humanity apologizes for the interruption." The council demanded to know what technology this was, who authorized it, why it was here. Reyes looked around the chamber at the frightened faces, at the shaking limbs. Then he said one sentence, "These are observation vessels." Silence followed. An insectoid scientist screamed that it was impossible. Observation ships did not block stars. They did not bend gravity. Reyes nodded. He said these ships were not built to observe space. They were built to observe outcomes. Confusion spread. The admiral continued. He explained that humans learned something long ago, something other species ignored: dark matter. It was everywhere. Between stars, inside galaxies, inside everything. Humans did not just study it, they learned to shape it. The ships outside were not powered by engines. They were anchored to gravity itself. They did not travel. They chose where reality ended. Fear rippled through the chamber. An elder being asked a quiet question. How many? Reyes looked at the stars, then answered, "Enough." Another voice asked why humans never showed this power before. The admiral paused. Then he said, "Humans prefer peace, but peace only works when others believe you can fight." The council realized the truth. Humanity had never been weak. It had been waiting outside. The dark ships pulsed once, slow and steady like a warning heartbeat. The Galactic Council understood too late. This meeting was not about negotiation, it was about revelation. The galaxy would never feel safe again. The Galactic Council chamber did not calm down. Fear only grew outside the station. The dark ships stayed still. Their red lines pulsed slowly, as if they were breathing inside. Voices overlapped. Species shouted in different tones. Some demanded weapons, others demanded surrender. The council speaker tried to restore order. But authority was slipping. Never before had the council faced something it could not measure. Screens showed impossible readings. Gravity around the ships bent inward, time signals arrived late. Space itself behaved like it was tired, scientists argued. Some said the ships were illusions. Others said the sensors were broken, but everyone felt it. The pressure, the weight, the sense that something was watching. Admiral Jonah Reyes stood quietly, his hands behind his back, his face calm. The human ambassador remained silent, as if this chaos was expected. An ancient crystalline being finally spoke. Its voice echoed slowly. It asked the humans a simple question. How long? The chamber quieted. How long had humans possessed this power? Reyes looked at the being, then answered honestly. Longer than anyone would be comfortable with. Panic spread again. Another council member demanded to know why humans hid it, why they allowed themselves to be mocked, why they accepted weak status. Reyes answered, because power shown too early invites fear. And fear invites war. Humans learned that lesson early. The council speaker accused humanity of deception, of endangering galactic stability. Reyes did not deny it. He said stability built on lies was never stable. The dark ships outside shifted slightly. Not closer, not farther. Just enough to remind everyone they were there. A military representative from an old empire spoke next. It demanded the humans deactivate the fleet immediately. Reyes shook his head. He said the fleet was not active. This was its resting state. That answer terrified the chamber. Another delegate whispered, if this is rest. What is war? Reyes did not respond. Instead, the human ambassador spoke. She said humans were not here to conquer. They were here to reveal the truth. The galaxy was not as safe as it believed. For centuries, wars were hidden, worlds erased quietly. Species enslaved far from council eyes. Humans saw it. They recorded everything. The dark matter fleet was not built first. It was built last. Only after every warning failed, the council demanded proof. The ambassador raised her hand. A projection appeared in the chamber. Human recordings, colonies, burning civilian ships destroyed. Distress calls, unanswered alien fleets attacked human worlds, then vanished back into unregulated space. The council watched in silence. Many recognized the attackers. Some were council members, some were allies. Reyes spoke again. He said humans learned something else. Dark matter was not just a resource, it was a mirror. It showed patterns, intent, future outcomes. Human ships did not predict battles. They predicted choices. The council did not like that. An elder being asked, are we being judged? Reyes answered calmly, you already judged yourselves. The dark ships pulsed again, this time stronger. Stars behind them dimmed slightly, not destroyed, just quiet. Scientists screamed warnings. Local gravity was shifting, tiny changes, but deliberate. A council guard dropped his weapon, his hands shaking. Someone asked if the ships could destroy the station. Reyes answered yes. Someone asked why they had not. Reyes answered, because this is a conversation. The chamber fell into heavy silence. The council realized something terrifying. Humans were not threatening. They were explaining, and explanations meant consequences. A final question was asked. What do humans want? The ambassador stepped forward. She said humans wanted transparency, an end to hidden wars, an end to silent genocide, and one more thing. Respect, not fear, not worship. Respect. Outside, the dark fleet began to move slowly, silently. Ships rearranged themselves, forming symbols no one recognized. Ancient species gasped. They recognized the pattern. It was not a battle formation, it was containment. The galaxy was being measured not for conquest, but for control. The council understood too late. Humanity was not asking for permission. Humanity was announcing responsibility, and somewhere deep in the dark, the future was already changing. The council chamber felt smaller, not because the walls moved, but because confidence disappeared. The dark matter fleet outside slowly changed position. Ships slid across space without engines, without sound. Every movement caused new panic. Defense fleets from nearby systems arrived. Thousands of warships from ancient empires. They formed lines, weapons charged. Commanders waited for orders. The order never came. No one wanted to be first. Inside the council, arguments turned into accusations. Old alliances cracked. Species blamed one another for provoking humanity. Records were demanded. Archives opened. Centuries of hidden crimes came into the light. Human observers watched. Silently, Admiral Reyes stood still. His calm presence felt heavier than threats. A military lord from an ancient empire finally broke. His species ruled hundreds of systems. They had never bowed to anyone. He demanded humans withdraw the fleet. He declared the council would not be intimidated. Reyes looked at him then. At the stars, he asked one question. Who controls this space? The Lord answered proudly. The council. Reyes shook his head. He said the council controlled laws, not reality. Before anyone could respond, one dark matter ship drifted forward. No weapons fired, no energy spike. Yet every ship in the ancient fleet lost power. Shields failed, engines shut down, weapons went cold, panic erupted. Commanders screamed report systems were not damaged, they were overridden. The human fleet had not attacked, it had spoken. The council chamber erupted in chaos. Scientists shouted dark matter interference, gravity locks, causality disruption. Older species understood the horror. This was not hacking. This was rewriting physical permission. Reyes spoke calmly. He said humans did not disable the fleet. They simply reminded space who was in charge. The ancient Empire Lord fell silent. His power meant nothing. Another delegate shouted, "This is war," Reyes replied. "War requires resistance. There was none outside." The disabled fleets floated helplessly, surrounded by silent human ships. The council saw the truth. Even united, they could not fight. Fear turned into desperation. Some begged. Others threatened. A few offered tribute. Humans rejected all of it. The ambassador spoke again. She said humanity would not rule the galaxy. They would guard it. Many protested. They said no species should have that power. Reyes answered, "Power exists whether you accept it or not. Humans chose responsibility." A council elder asked quietly. "What happens to those who refuse?" Reyes paused, then said, "They will be protected from themselves." That answer chilled the chamber. Another dark matter pulse spread outward, not violent. Precise stars stabilized space lanes, cleared pirate strongholds. Vanished, not destroyed, simply disconnected entire regions when quiet reports flooded in. Slave markets lost gravity locks. Illegal fleets fell out of hyperspace. Hidden weapons labs collapsed under their own mass. Humanity was not fighting armies, it was removing options. The council realized this was not revenge, it was cleanup. An ancient archivist whispered, "This is how gods behave," Reyes corrected him. "This is how engineers behave." The human fleet completed its movement, forming a vast ring around the council system. Containment, complete fear settled into acceptance. The council speaker finally asked the question no one wanted to ask. "Why reveal this now?" Reyes answered. "Because the galaxy reached a breaking point, and humans refused to inherit ruins." The council understood humanity had waited, measured, calculated. Now the decision was made. A final transmission arrived from a distant hostile empire. They declared war on humanity. The council watched in silence. Reyes listened, then nodded. He said, "Thank you for volunteering." One dark matter ship detached from the fleet. It moved toward the hostile empire space. Not fast, not slow, inevitable. The council begged Reyes to stop to negotiate. Reyes answered calmly, "This is negotiation." The ship vanished, not warped. Not jumped, gone. Every sensor failed to track it. Minutes passed, then reports arrived. The hostile empire capital star dimmed. Not destroyed, but altered. Fusion slowed gravity, balanced. The star entered perfect equilibrium. The empire fleet lost power, every ship frozen. The empire was alive, intact, but unable to act. Humanity had removed war without killing. The council understood this was mercy, terrifying mercy. Fear replaced power completely. The age of unchecked empires was over, and humanity had not fired a single shot. The galaxy did not sleep after that day. News spread faster than fear. Systems far from the council felt it first. Space lanes changed, gravity currents shifted. Old routes stopped working. No explosions, no warnings, just quiet correction. Merchants found their ships gently pushed off illegal paths. Pirates lost their hidden bases when gravity no longer supported them. Secret weapon labs collapsed without fire or sound. Humanity was not attacking. It was editing inside the council chamber. The mood turned heavy. Voices were low now. No one shouted, no one laughed. Ancient beings who once ruled star clusters sat in silence. Their power felt small. Admiral Reyes remained calm, as if this outcome had always been certain. A council scientist approached him. Its many eyes filled with fear. It asked how long the demonstration would continue. Reyes answered, 14 minutes. Confusion spread. 14 minutes for what Reyes explained. 14 minutes was the time needed for the dark matter network to complete calibration. Every node, every ship, every gravity anchor, the galaxy itself was being measured outside. The dark matter fleet pulsed faster. Red lights spreading like veins across space. Sensors showed impossible data. Dark matter density rising, then stabilizing. Time delay flattening, space becoming smooth. It felt wrong, yet perfect. An alarm sounded. A hostile coalition fleet had entered Council space, thousands of ships, ancient weapons, full battle formation. They ignored every warning. Duh! The Council panicked, defense fleets tried to respond, but their systems hesitated as if waiting for permission. The hostile fleet opened fire, energy beams crossed space. None of them reached the station. They curved, bent, and faded. The hostile commanders screamed, their weapons failed, their engines stalled. Then the dark matter ships moved not toward the enemy but around them. Forming a vast sphere, the Council watched in horror. Reyes spoke softly. "This is the demonstration." The dark matter field tightened. Space inside the sphere grew heavy. Time slowed slightly. Hostile ships tried to flee, but distance stretched. Every movement cost more energy. Panic took control inside the sphere. Nothing exploded, nothing burned. Instead, ships began to drift. Weapons falling silent, gravity slowly increased, pinning vessels in place. The Council realized the truth. Humanity was not destroying fleets, it was making war impossible. 14 minutes passed. The hostile fleet floated powerless, every ship intact, every crew alive but unable to move, unable to fight. The sphere dissolved. The dark matter ships returned to their positions. The hostile fleet remained frozen in space. Reyes explained they would remain there till their governments accepted new terms. The Council speaker whispered, "This is not war." Reyes nodded. "This is prevention." The chamber fell silent. Many understood now this power could end all wars, but at a cost. One delegate asked the hardest question: what if humans decide we are the problem? Reyes met the delegate's gaze, then answered honestly, "Then we hope you remember who we were before power." Fear turned inward, the Council realized. The galaxy now relied on human restraint. A dangerous truth: reports flooded and crime rates collapsing. Border wars ending overnight. Hidden fleets surrendering. Peace arrived fast and unnatural. Some celebrated, others mourned their lost dominance. The Council debated endlessly, but every argument ended the same way: humanity had already acted. A final message arrived from the hostile coalition. They accepted the terms: the frozen fleet would be released. Reyes nodded. The dark matter field eased. Engines returned. Ships regained control. They fled immediately. The Council understood the message: human mercy was real, but not infinite. The 14-minute demonstration was over. The galaxy would never forget it. As the Council session ended, the human delegation prepared to leave. The ambassador turned back one last time. She said humanity did not want worship or fear, only honesty. If the galaxy chose peace, humans would stand beside them. If the galaxy chose war, humans would stand above it. The dark matter fleet began to fade, not leaving, just stepping out of focus. Watching, waiting, the Council remained silent. They finally understood humanity had not conquered the galaxy. It had claimed responsibility for it. The galaxy did not explode into chaos, it went quiet. That silence was more frightening than war across. Thousands of systems fleets stood down, weapons powered off. Borders softened. Empires that once shouted threats now whispered questions. What does humanity want inside the Galactic Council chamber? The seats were full again, but the mood was different. No pride, no laughter, only caution. Records from every system flooded in. Crime networks collapsing, slave routes disappearing, secret wars ending overnight, not because humans attacked, but because humans watched. Dark matter warships stayed hidden, never fully seen, but always felt. Governments changed behavior. Not out of love, but understanding. If humanity noticed, action would follow. Admiral Reyes returned to Earth, his mission complete, but humanity did not retreat. Observation stations appeared quietly at gravity junctions. Near unstable regions beside old conflict zones, they did not interfere. They observed, and that alone changed everything. Some species welcomed this new age. Smaller worlds felt safer than ever. Trade increased, travel expanded, others felt trapped. Ancient rulers who once controlled fear now felt powerless. They held secret meetings, searching for weakness, for a way to break human control. But every plan failed before it began. Dark matter did not spy on words, it watched outcomes. Humanity always knew. Inside the Council, a new proposal formed: a shared galactic charter. No hidden fleets. No silent genocide, no unregulated weapons. Humans did not write the rules. They demanded the rules be followed. Enforcement was simple. Dark matter warships would not punish crimes, they would remove the ability to commit them. War became expensive, then impossible. Some accused humanity of killing free will. Human diplomats answered calmly, freedom without responsibility is just permission to harm. The debate never ended, but the fighting did. Years passed. Children across the galaxy grew up never seeing war, never hearing battle alarms. To them, humanity was not terrifying, it was distant quiet. Firm but not cruel. Then the first real challenge came, a hidden civilization older than humanity, older than the Council. They lived beyond mapped space. And they did not fear humans. They saw humanity as another rising threat. They attacked a neutral system. Testing the response, the galaxy held its breath. Humans responded slowly. No fleet, no warning, just one dark matter ship. It appeared near the hidden civilization homeworld. The elders of that race laughed. They activated weapons older than stars. The weapons failed. Gravity around their world softened, then tightened. Nothing broke. Nothing burned, but the planet could no longer launch ships. Space itself refused to cooperate. Humans sent a message. Peace is still an option. The elders hesitated. They had never known restraint, only dominance, but now dominance was meaningless. They accepted talks. The galaxy watched. Humanity had faced its first equal test and passed without blood. Inside the Council, fear slowly turned into trust. Not complete, never complete, but enough. A Council elder summarized the truth. Humanity does not rule us. Humanity restrains us. That restraint saved countless lives, yet one question remained. What happens when humans are gone? Historians debated, philosophers argued. Humans answered with action. They began teaching. Not technology, not dark matter, but responsibility. Joined academies, opened shared command councils, formed transparent systems, replaced secret ones. Humanity planned for a future where it was no longer needed. That idea scared many. Power usually clings to itself. But humans prepared to step back. Only one thing stayed constant: the dark matter warships. They remained silent, guardians ready. Because humans understood something simple: peace is not permanent. It must be protected, and the galaxy was still learning as the Council session closed. The speaker looked out at the stars. For the first time in history, the galaxy was not ruled by fear, but by consequence. And humanity stood at the center, not as kings, but as keepers. Many years passed after the dark matter revelation. The galaxy slowly learned how to live in peace. Wars became stories. Battles became lessons. Fear became memory. Humanity stayed quiet, working in the background, watching, guiding, never ruling. The dark matter warships were still there, but fewer noticed them. Not because they were gone, but because the galaxy stopped looking for threats. Children on distant worlds grew up without shelters, without war drills, without stories of sudden destruction to them. Peace felt normal. That was humanity's greatest achievement. Inside the Galactic Council, meetings became calm arguments. Replaced threats. Law replaced force. Humans spoke less. But when they did, everyone listened. Admiral Jonah Reyes grew old on Earth. He never gave interviews, never accepted honors. When asked about the fleet, he always said the same thing. It was never about power. It was about responsibility. Eventually, the time came. Human scientists announced a plan, one that shocked the galaxy. The dark matter network would be reduced. Ships would be withdrawn. Anchors removed. Control returned to natural balance. Panic returned. For the first time in decades, the Council begged humanity to reconsider, to stay, to watch forever. Human leaders refused. They said peace that depends on one species is not peace. It is delay. Humanity believed the galaxy had matured, and if it had not, then the lesson was not finished. The withdrawal began slowly, one by one. Dark matter warships stepped out of focus, not destroyed, not deactivated, released gravity-stabilized space, returned to its natural chaos. Nothing broke, nothing collapsed. The galaxy held its breath. Years passed. No wars returned. Small conflicts happened. But councils solved them. Alliances formed. Mistakes were corrected. The galaxy learned restraint. Humanity watched from a distance. Only one dark matter ship remained hidden, silent, unchanging. It was not a threat. It was a reminder. The final guardian. Generations later, most beings believed the dark matter fleet was a myth. Stories told by elders, old recordings shown in schools. Some said humans were gods, others said they were liars. Humans never corrected them. History did not need defense then. One day, far beyond known space, something moved, an ancient force older than the Council. Older than humanity, it approached quietly, studying, probing. The final dark matter ship awakened, not to fight, but to observe. It sent a message, not to the Council, not to armies, to humanity. Humans answered not with fleets, not with threats, but with themselves. Human explorers met the unknown force, spoke, listened. They did not dominate, they did not bow, they negotiated the galaxy, never knew how close it came to another age of fear. Because humanity chose differently again, the final dark matter ship powered down its purpose, fulfilled the galaxy never saw it again somewhere on Earth. A child looked up at the night sky. She did not know about dark matter, or fleets, or galactic councils. She only knew the stars were beautiful and quiet, and that was enough. Far away, an old inscription remained in the council archives. Written in simple human words, power does not make you strong, restraint does. The galaxy remembered that lesson, and humanity, once underestimated, once mocked, became the species that proved true strength is knowing when not to rule.